Konnichiwa! The 90s saw some of the biggest innovations in gaming history. Games like Doom and Street Fighter completely redefining entire genres forever. In this show, we're going to be taking a look at another game that redefined a genre. And it came out on the Mega Drive. My name's Mike, and this is the Retro Gamer Boy Show. Welcome back, my retro gaming friends. If you're new to the channel, then why not consider subscribing by clicking on a button down here somewhere? And why not give your fingers some exercise and click on that like button as well? Dune 2 was ported from MS-DOS to the Sega Mega Drive in 1993, and it revolutionized the RTS genre. The RTS games that you play today were literally defined by this one single game. But before we cover how it did this, let's quickly cover what Dune is. Dune is a science fiction novel written by Frank Herbert. This in turn inspired Dune the motion picture, which was directed by David Lynch, which in turn inspired the game Dune 2, which was created by Westwood Studios. Are you still following? Good. Dune is actually a planet called Arrakis. And on Arrakis there is a spice that is produced by giant worms. This spice is the most valuable substance in the universe, and guild navigators use spice to fold space. And so if you want to get around the universe, you need to get your hands on the spice melange. Melange being the name of the spice. Now we won't go into the full story of Dune, but there's this guy, and he is the Emperor of the known universe. And the Emperor of the known universe has declared that the house that manages to mine the most spice will gain control of Dune. Now, given how valuable and important this stuff is, everyone races to Arrakis to stake their claim. But this is really only a 3-horse race, because there are only 3 houses that have the resources and the size to compete for the spice. And that's House Atreides. Now, House Atreides are the good guys. House Ordos. And House Ordos are a group of traders, and all they care about is trade, the perfect deal. And then you have House Harkonnen, and Harkonnen are the industrialists. They're also quite a nasty bunch of people. So now we have the backstory. What is the actual game? And why was Dune 2 such a genre-defining game?
Dune, the battle for Arrakis.
It's pretty amazing to see all of the features that Dune 2 introduced into the RTS genre. In fact, I can't think of the RTS genre ever not having these features. That's how much of an impact this game had on the genre. So, what did this game do that no other game had done before it? Well, the game introduced a world map where you could choose your next mission. And this is such a basic feature. I can't believe that any RTS hadn't come up with this before. The next one is a huge feature and fundamental to all modern RTS games. And that's gathering resources to fund constructions. This economy is what defines all RTS games that we play today. And to learn that this game, Dune 2, was the first game to implement that just blew my mind.
Reporting.
Now, my first experiences of an RTS was, I think, probably Command & Conquer, which was also created by Westwood. The game was stunning and I loved it. And to be honest, I thought that's what all RTS games had always been like. But it was amazing to learn that Westwood had redefined the genre years before. Now in Dune 2, you can mine spice to generate cash. You can then use this cash to buy buildings and defenses for your base. There's also risk attached to collecting the spice from the spice fields. Remember those huge giant worms I mentioned at the beginning of the video? Well, those things are crawling around underneath the sand. And whenever there's vibrations that they send, they come out and swallow whatever's caused those vibrations. Now that could be an extremely valuable harvester that is carrying a full load of spice, or it could be swallowing up some of your troops or some of your vehicles that you've got patrolling your base.
Base under attack.
And that really leads us on to the next innovation. A full tech tree. Yep, we didn't have tech trees until Dune 2 came along and gave us the feature.
Construction.
So in Dune 2, an example of the tech tree is that you have to start off with building a concrete base. Once you've built that concrete base, you can build a wind trap. Now this wind trap will generate energy. Once you're generating the energy, you can build yourself a refinery. And once you've got a refinery, you can build yourself a high-tech factory. It's insane to think that gamers were first introduced to this feature in this game. It's the foundation of a ton of games that we play today. All modern RTS games have a tech tree, and mastering the tech tree is half of the game. Now, because the tech tree didn't exist beforehand, neither did base construction. And again, this is another new feature that Dune 2 brought to the RTS genre. The ability to construct, customize, and modify your own base. Not only can you build your own base, but certain buildings within your base can manufacture and deploy military units. Tanks, men, buggies, harvesters, a ton of vehicles that you could control. Now you can also take command of enemy units as well by taking over the enemy's factory, which is an awesome feature and can really turn the tides of battle in this game. The foundations for the Twitch gaming that we find in today's RTS games were laid by Dune 2. And it's amazing to think that the humble origins of games like StarCraft, Dawn of War and World of Warcraft all owe their success to this PC and Sega Mega Drive game. Dune 2 wasn't finished there. It also introduced factions for the first time and a context-sensitive mouse pointer for the Sega Mega Drive version. This meant that you could use the mouse pointer for selection, so you could select a unit. Once you'd selected that unit, the mouse pointer's functionality would change, and it could change to navigate to here or attack this. Dune 2's feature set was phenomenal, and it made this game the genre-defining, definitive RTS game. Now Westwood didn't stop with just a groundbreaking and genre-defining feature set. It also made a game with a stunning soundtrack and voice command samples that we recognise now in all of our Command & Conquer games. And the visuals and interface of this game made it the best RTS game of the 16-bit era. And if you wanted to play the best RTS game for the 16-bit era, then you needed to own a Sega Mega Drive or Genesis.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Yes! These are the videos I love making. Dune 2 is a phenomenal game. Capturing the footage of this game, playing it over again was awesome. And tonight I am definitely going to be sticking on Dune the film to watch that through again. It is one of my all-time favourite sci-fi films. Now again, if you're new to the channel and you love your retro gaming, then why not consider subscribing by clicking on my little pixel head below. And if you never want to miss one of our awesome retro gaming shows, then you can click on a bell icon which is around here somewhere, and it will notify you when the next Retro Gamer Boy show is on. Now we have shows for you every week, and if you can't wait until next week, then you can check out one of these 2 episodes over here.